now going to start it. Hi, this is the River City Arcs Slow Scan TV Net. Good evening. And this is Jen, or Jennifer, or Kitty. And I'm your net control operator for the River City Arcs Slow Scan. This net serves for training and practice in image transmission modes and meets every Wednesday at 9 p.m. on the N6NA, that's November 6, November Alpha, repeater on 441.30 megahertz. River City Arcs members and all licensed radio amateurs are welcome to participate. If you wish to join the net or need to make a call at any time, please announce your call sign between transmissions and net control will acknowledge you. If an emergency should arise and you need the repeater, please contact the net control by saying, "Break, break." A double break signifies emergency traffic. The net will stand by for you until the emergency is terminated or the traffic is moved to another frequency. Stations who wish to check in are asked to respond with their full call sign using the recognized ITU phonetic alphabet and their name and location, please. I will recognize each station before continuing, and I would greatly appreciate it if you would do it at the speed of Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee. Thanks so much. Any station who wishes to check into the net, please come now.
November 6, Whiskey Lima Mike, Bill, and Roseville.
November 6, Whiskey Lima Mike, Bill, thanks so much. Thank you for the Pixie. Lovely to see you last night. Good job. Next.
Kilo Lima 7, Hotel, Quebec, Romeo, Neil, in Antelope.
Kilo Lima 7, Hotel, Quebec, Romeo, Neil. Thank you for joining tonight. Lovely to see you last night. Next.
Alpha India 6, Delta Golf, Joel in Florin.
Alpha India 6, Delta Golf. Joel, thanks so much for joining us. Next.
November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec, Bob in Northmost Roseville.
Bob, thank you again for joining. Lovely to see you last night, November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec. Next, please.
Alpha Echo 6, Juliet Golf, James in the center of Gold River.
Alpha Echo 6, Juliet Golf, James. Also lovely to see you last night. Thank you for joining us. Another winner on our show tonight. That's great. And who else do we have out there?
Kilo Papa 4, Mike Delta Carol, Citrus Heights.
Kilo Papa 4, Mike Delta. Thank you for joining us, Carol, and for running the 10-meter net. And lovely to see you last night. And do we have anybody else? I'm thinking maybe Anders is maybe hanging out there somewheres, or maybe George.
We also do have Andy Cowley, 2 Echo 0, Romeo Echo Echo, from the United Kingdom, who is on YouTube chat.
Okay, Carol. Let me check that out. Andy. Okay, and what was Andy's call sign?
Yeah, he's 2 Echo 0, Romeo Echo Echo.
Okay, great. Well, welcome, Andy, and thanks for joining us. Really think that's wonderful thing that you're getting. Hold on, I got echo feedback here. There we go. Muted that was a double over. That was terrible. This is Kilo India 1, Tango Tango Yankee, and you're listening to the River City Arcs Slow Scan TV Net. All right, do we have anybody else out there tonight that's going to be joining us? Oh, right. Well, Bill, November 6th, Whiskey Lima Mike, you are first up. Are you ready to send something fabulous to us?
I am. I'm not sure if it's fabulous, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. N6WLM. 6WLM.
Kilo India 1, Tango Tango Yankee, and you're listening to the River City Arc Slow Scan TV Net that starts at 9 p.m. on 441.30. Bill, thanks so much for your picture. Interesting. All right, Joel, AI6DG, what do you think's going on here?
Okay, so we've got left and right split in half with two different photos. On the left, we've got in the foreground a grassy area with some tall, thin bush trees. I don't know what kind they are, but they're not really trees, they're not really bushes, they're tall and thin. With grass, a lamppost in the background in front of a planter with a bunch of small bushes, and in a planter area with bark in between the small bushes, and behind all of that's a big, huge building with lots of windows and arches, and a big bell tower in the background. And it looks like it's a cross at the top of that, so it's probably a church or abbey or religious building of some kind. And to the right, we're looking down at a walkway through some planters. So we've got a left-right sidewalk in the foreground with down the center another cement walkway. On each side of that, we've got low-level bushes, again surrounded by bark, and one of the bushes about halfway down on the right got blue flowers. And just beyond that, on the opposite side, on the left side of the walkway, is a lamp post. But what's interesting in the right side photo is that dead center right in front of us is a white cone, not an orange cone, a white traffic cone. And I can't imagine what that means, but I look forward to hearing why. So we're looking something of significance, someplace of significance. And yeah, back to net, the I6DG.
Thanks so much, Joel. Bob, N6PGQ, what do you think?
Well, I can't add too much. I was hoping you wouldn't mention the white cone. It doesn't look like a familiar church or building to me. I'm going to be interested to hear what it has and what it is. Not very many pixel pops, really good quality, just a few here and there. N6PGQ.
Thanks so much, Bob. And James, James, I skipped over Neil. Sorry, Neil. Neil, Kilo Lima 7, Hotel Quebec Romeo. What do you think's going on here?
Roger, no problem skipping. There are so many of us that I don't think we have time for everybody to comment, but thank you very much. One good thing about going after Joel, because there is very little to describe. He is so thorough. Very, very good copy here, and I'm glad because I'm using a new computer. I still have to reboot it before I transmit, but I did get a very good copy. On the left-hand side, a church. I don't know if it is a mission in California. It doesn't look like. It looks too modern, too new to be an old mission. So, and when I first saw the right-hand picture, I wasn't sure about the scale. So I thought for a moment that it was a little marker, a little monument or something instead of the cone with a long passageway, which would be probably something leading to the front of the church. But now I'm a little confused. So good copy. Back to net.
Thanks so much, Neil, for your comments, and Joel and Bob. Just want to let you know we also have Bruce, KN6SYF, who also joined us for the 8 o'clock 2-meter. He's out on the web watching, and we have a guest here that says it looks like it's the new LDS temple in Yuba City. Bruce, thanks so much for joining us for the first time on Slow Scan, as well as Andy. Between Carol and I, we're keeping our eyes peeled on the chat. All right, Bill, N6WLM, tell us what's going on here.
Yeah, Carol got it correct. This is the new Mormon temple that is in Yuba City. They call it the Feather River Temple. Normally, the general public's not allowed in these temples because you have to be a practicing member, which I am not a part of the Mormon religion. but they allow the public to go in before they bless it. So we were able to go in and look at the brand new temple and see what we're missing out on. So it just was interesting to do the tour, self-guided, and go through and see what's going on. So it was interesting. We don't get out often with the baby, so it was nice to have a nice outing with our friends, just to go gawk at a new building. And on the way out, we saw this white cone, and I'm like, well, that's very fitting for a church to have a white cone. Not very useful, but there it is. And my friend that I was with was like, well, didn't you see all the white fire extinguishers in most of the rooms? So I was like, no, I didn't see any fire extinguishers, which really defeats the point of having white fire extinguishers. But I thought that was very interesting. I've never seen a white traffic cone before, so I had to capture that image and share it all with you. Yeah, they're still doing tours till the 9th if you want to check it out for yourself. N6WLM, back to that.
Thanks so much, Bill. This is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee, and you're listening to the River City Arcs Flow Scan TV Net. All right. Neil, KL7HQR, you're up next. Are you ready to go?
Okay, let's see. Let me see if I have a tone.
Copy.
Okay, this will be PD 120. I have a tone on the tone. I don't have a tone on the transmit. Stand by.
Copy that. Neil. I love this. This is super. AE6JG, James, you want to take a stab at it?
No, not really. It's a beautiful picture. I do have pixel pops distributed throughout that are mostly white speckles, but it's a pretty clean copy overall. Looks like, Neil, something you used to work with in the space program. I just can't identify it, but it's a beautiful picture. Back to you, AE6JG.
Copy that, AE6JG. This is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee. KP4MD, what do you think's going on here?
Yeah, hi, this is KP4MD. Well, you read what I posted on the chat. It looks to me like a lenticular cloud that sometimes form from updrafts over mountains, and looks like there's some mountains there. Looks like a snow-capped area there. But that's exactly what that looks like, a lenticular cloud. I'm sure they learned stuff about that in Skywarn. Back to Nets, KP4MD.
Thanks so much, KP4MD. All right, I'm going to take my stab at it. Besides the lenticular cloud over some mountains, we've got some fog bank in the middle. I've got pixel pops all over the place, and it looks like there's some water, marshy ground in the center, and it almost looks glacier-like on one side. I don't know where this is, but it's beautiful. Anyway, let's go to Neil to have him tell us what's going on here.
Well, Carol hit it on the nose. It's scale 7 HQR. It's a lenticular cloud, which many times is confused as a potential UFO. Like she said, normally they're formed over mountains, over where there are very specific crossing of opposing winds. They form around between 20 and 40,000 feet, usually made out of ice crystals. And I have taken a picture of a very similar one in Reno. This one was taken on the 11th of January of this year in Antarctica. And what you see is ice fog in the middle. And if you look carefully on the ocean on the bottom, you may see a few small icebergs. And it is a glacier there, as it was noticed. But anyway, it was not taken by me. It was taken by my wife. She is incredible in taking sunsets and pictures like this. And I decided that it was a good one to share today in such a warm time of the year. Back to Net.
Thanks so much, Neil. This is Kilo India 1, Tango Tango Yankee, and you're listening to the River City Arc Slow Scan TV Net. Starts weekly on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. on 441.30. All right, let's move down to Joel, AI6DG. What have you got for us, and can you fire it away?
Start with whether I have tone or not.
Yes.
CD-120.
All right, thanks, Joel. I'm going to start with Bill. N6WLM. Bill, what do you think's going on here? Bill, are you there?
Sorry, yes, I'm here. This is N6WLM. Interesting copy on my side. The image is very ripped, about a third of the way down. There was some desync, I think, with the image. So everything is maybe a foot to the left of where it's supposed to be, or the right, depending on the way you're looking. But anyways, I see that Carol's copy actually corrected for the slant and mine didn't, so that is interesting. This looks like a mobile setup, a parking lot maybe. I see the lines on the ground, and that looks like a KX2, maybe a 3. I don't have an Elecraft, with a portable power to the right there, into an amplifier, it looks like, maybe one of those Rockmite, like 80, 70 watt ones. Plugged into a laptop doing FT8, it looks like, on a folding table. So yeah, this is an interesting mobile setup. I don't see the antenna, but just looks like you're having fun out in the sun in a parking lot. So I'm interested to hear what you're doing. N6WLM, back to net.
Thanks so much, Bill. N6WLM, Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee. Neil, KL7HQR, what do you think?
KL7HQR, not much to add. I have the same dislocation of the top thirds of the picture, and I did not fix it. So I could not see the detail enough to know that it was FT8. But I agree with William. Interpretation. It looks like a fun day out, but I would like to know a little bit more details on what we're doing here. The good thing is that we're finally seeing some good wires on horizontal surfaces, contrary to what we saw at James' presentation yesterday. Back to net.
Oh, Neil, you're so funny. That's very funny. I'm going to go to Bob, N6PGQ. Bob, do you have anything to add?
No, I'm going to echo Neil's comment. It looks like he's working hard at getting a sufficient enough pieces of wire and connectors and adapters. There can't be too many of those. Yeah, I did have the offset at about a third of the page down. The computer at the bottom is moved over about a third of the screen, and the thing did not repair itself. Not too many pixel pops. Good picture. Interested to find out where the radio was located in 6PGQ.
Thanks so much, Bob. Carol, typing in on the chat, says it's an Elecraft KX2 Hard Rock 50 amplifier, and it's WSJT-X running FT8. Ooh, Carol, you're sharp. We'll see. Joel, tell us what you've got going here.
Wow, it's more than one person with the rip, so that makes me think it was something on my end. So I'm wondering what happened on the computer. It probably was doing something on the computer that caused it to pause for a moment as it went CPU bound doing things. This computer's a bit underpowered sometimes for what I'm trying to make it do. And this was probably at Pacificon a couple of years ago. I tend to go down there and do FT8 on Thursday in the parking lot and Sunday in the parking lot, and then off and on through the rest of that from my hotel room. So we've got the laptop on the left, plugged into the laptop. The top connector is power, and it's going to to a power brick that's capable of doing DC power, DC operation. So it's doing 12 volts into and then 19 out of. So that powers the laptop. Then you look going down, the next connector on the side of the laptop is the USB into the KX2 so that I can a cat control from within WSJTX of the KX2, and the next one down is a sound card. And if you follow that cable, the USB sound card, if you follow that around through, you'll see it go through a little box. That's the sound card itself, and on the other side of that goes in little two cables into the KX2. Then you can, to the right of the KX2, you can see the coax going out and across over to the silver brick with fins, which is a Hard Rock 50. I believe they actually have a upgrade for the Hard Rock 50 now to make it into a Hard Rock 100. Unfortunately, though, they achieved that by having the input voltage to the unit be 50 volts, which pretty much ruins it for being portability. So you didn't get that upgrade. Just to the right of the Hard Rock 50 and the fins is the power supply for the laptop. To the right of that, the little red block is an Anderson power pole distribution block. To the right of, and below, between it and the two is a battery boost. So I've got 11 or 12 volts coming in from a battery that's hiding down below the table, and it gets a boost.
I think we just lost Joel for a second there. Do I have the rest of my crowd? Carol, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, thanks. Joel, are you there? I think there was his battery dying.
Is there a timeout on the transmitter on this repeater?
Say again, Joel?
This has happened before, and it just cuts out. And I don't think it's on my end, because my end would start beeping before the transmitter times out.
I don't think it was a transmitter timeout. Sounds like your radio, but Carol's an expert on this. Well, finish up and we'll move on to Bob.
But you don't hear it.
What was that, James?
The repeater did time out. AI6DG. We heard the beep. We knew it was coming, but I think it's hard to hear it when you're doing the transmit. So it's just a repeater timeout. It's reset. So go ahead and proceed.
How long is the timer?
I think it's 120 seconds, but Carol would have to confirm.
Yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask. I thought it was 3 minutes.
I think it's less than 3 minutes because I have a 3 limit timeout on my radio, where my radio starts beeping before the 3 minutes expires. Anyway, I don't think you missed much. The only thing is the battery boost. That's the black box on the middle rightmost. Okay, yeah. I got distracted by what the heck happened? Back up. I'm finished. Back to net, AI6DG.
Okay, thanks, Joel. That was interesting. And I didn't know our repeater timed out like that. All right, so I want to add something from Carol. This is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee, by the way, and it's River City Arc, Slow Scan TV Net. Carol said for that funky cutting in half that we all had on our SSTV, if you right-click on the image in your receive box, if you right-click on it and select High Accuracy Resync, it takes a minute or so, but it will fix the image. So again, look at the image that's on your screen, right-click on it, and select High Accuracy Resync, and it'll pair it back up again like it's supposed to. All right, I want to stop really quick here and see if there's anybody else who wants to check in tonight. I don't hear anybody, so N6PGQ, Bob, what do you got for us tonight?
Okay, this is going to be PD 120.
Thanks, Bob. This is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee, and you're listening to the River City Arc Slow Scan TV Net. So let's go to AE6JG. James, what do you think's going on here?
Thanks, Jen. Really good image, a handful of pixel pops throughout. For some reason, I think, first of all, Bob, I always appreciate the analog devices that you share with us. I look for those myself, and I need to add, this looks like it has something to do with photography because the numbers look like f-stop numbers. So I'm wondering if it is something that attaches to a camera or a viewer to help a photographer adjust for depth of field. Back to you, Jen. AE6JG.
Thank you, AE6JG. This is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee, KP4MD. Carol, what do you think Bob's got here?
Well, I knew you were going to shoot it to me. It looks to me like some kind, like James said, looks like there's an f-stop adjustment on this. Some kind of really strange camera lens attachment. I don't think this would be a telephoto lens because those are usually a lot longer. Maybe it's something like designed for a microscope. That's what it looks like. Something going down to a really small objective lens there. A microscope attachment for a camera, I'm guessing. Back to Nets, KP4MD.
Thank you, Carol. And Bill, do you have anything further to guess on this one?
No, I think everyone's guess is better than mine. My first thought was that it's the dial for a safe, but that's obviously wrong. But that's what it kind of looks like to me. So I'm interested to hear if it is photography related or if it's something more fanciful. N6WLM, back to that.
I know what it is.
You got to hold back, Neil. It's Bob's turn. Bob, tell us what's going on.
Okay, I'd like to hear Neil's wisecrack. Anyway, this is a attached attachment that goes into the hot shoe of a rangefinder camera that allows you to dial in the different focal lengths of your lens and view the field of view properly. If you look on the left, it says 3.5, and that's in centimeters, so that would be 35 millimeters for a 35 millimeter lens, and then if you can barely read it on the top, it says 5, and that's a 50 millimeter lens. And so you adjust that, and it changes the screen inside so that you can tell what the field of view is for your camera. And you can't see it, but in the section on the bottom that goes into the hot shoe, which isn't a hot shoe, it's just a flash holder, there's a little dial that you can turn that you also match up for the focal length. So it tilts the front lens up and down so that you're looking at the correct point. This is made by Leica. It's a lights attachment for a 1950s screw mount type camera, N6 PGQ.
All right, thanks so much, Bob. I love that. That's really interesting, and I like the granite top there, tabletop. All right, so we have 86JG James. It's your turn to come up, and again, this is Kilo India 1, Tango Tango Yankee, and you're listening to the River City Arcs Slow Scan TV Net. James?
86JG PD 120.
Hungry anyway, and this just makes me hungrier. This is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee, and AE6JG has just sent us a lovely photo. Carol, you're first up.
Well, I'm going to pass on this because I know exactly what this is, and I was there when James took the picture, so I'll let someone else guess. Over.
Copy that, Carol. I don't know if I was there, but it just looks yummy. So I'm going to move on to Bill. Bill, what do you think?
Yeah, my first guess was Chuck's in Roseville. Chuck's is notorious for giant, then you could consume pancakes like this. but the plate's not right. So I know the plate's a Chuck's, and that's not the plate for Chuck's. So I do see the mug has a bear on it, and the bear is black. So I'm going to say it's Black Bear Diner probably. There's one in Roseville. I don't know if there's any elsewhere. Yeah, but looks delicious. Looks like a lot of food. Mighty hearty breakfast. Not too many pixel pops. Well, there's quite a few actually. Now that you look, yeah, there's quite a few pixel pops, and but very good quality and clear photo otherwise. N6WLM back to that.
Thanks so much, Bill. Neil?
Gil 7HQR, not much else to say. And I was just thinking, whenever we say a lot of pixel pops, I've been trying to get some pictures on 14230 on HF, and it's incredible the quality of pictures that we get in here compared to what you get on HF. But this looks like a very large, I can see a stack at least 2 pancakes with some eggs on the right-hand side, and looked like there was a sausage or some bacon up on the farther side, and some sweeteners things on the right-hand side in the container. But if I had not just finished dinner a little bit ago, I would definitely be hungry. So, good picture. Back to Net.
Thanks, Neil. I think we'll leave it at that. And James, tell us what's going on here. And really, you know, I haven't had dinner yet. It's a little too late for it, but I'm ready for what's in the screen here. I really am. James, 86JG.
Well, this follows Bob's analog theme. Particularly, there was some detail that you all missed. You focused on the foreground, but what's of most interest is in the upper part or the background, where you see yellow number 2 pencils up in the right, and a pen and a white piece of paper. And this was a meeting with some of the River City Arcs board members reviewing the current bylaws to see what we need to do to update them. They hadn't been reviewed in about 15 years or so. So it's really, this was a trick. It's not about the pancakes. It's about the pencils and the paper. Back to you, John. 86JG.
Thanks so much, James. I'm sorry, but I'm going to focus on the food. That looks really good. Right, it's Carol's turn. KP4MD, are you ready to go? Carol, do you copy? Did we lose KP4MD?
Yep, KP4MD is PD120.
In lieu of her, I'm going to shoot him a picture out unless Carol pops on. Carol. I see some pixel pops. I got lots of little pixel pops, but I'm going to go straight to Joel. Joel, AI6DG. What do you think Carol has set here?
Well, I see a map. We've got U.S. and Canada on the left with California just cut off the edge, and we see just a little bit of edge on the right side of Spain, France, England, and Northern Africa. On the upper right of the screen, it says Grid Tracker 1.23.0206, band 17M, mode FT8, layer grid. So we've got a screen capture of Grid Tracker, and someone was doing 17 meters. On the U.S., I see some green, yellow, orange hotspots. I don't know if it's a Doppler radar for where it was raining or if it's a heat map for propagation. But I do see 3 arches, great circle arches from the U.S. over into Europe. One from, like around New York over to south of France. That's black. One that's up towards, Ohio. That's over off screen to probably Lake Germany, and that's black. And then there's a red one that on the California side is probably coming from California, and I would guess Sacramento, and it's going across over into just off screen, but I'd guess East France. So, there's a moderate number of pixel pops and a bar across the upper middle where I guess the repeater ID'd. So I look forward to hearing more. Back to Net, AI6DG.
Thanks, Joel. This is Kilo India 1, Tango Tango Yankee, and you're listening to the River City Arc Slow Scan TV Net. Let's go down to Bob. Bob, do you have anything to add?
Boy, I don't have anything to add. Quality is real good. I could read, the geo tracker at the top and everything on there. It's really, really a nice picture. And I was wondering how come the programs just don't draw straight lines between places. It save a lot of ink. N6PGQ.
Thanks, Bob. I think that's because they're simulating curvature. But that's my thoughts on that. James, do you have anything to add?
No, other than Grid Tracker's kind of cool, just generally. My guess is KP4MD had a contact in northern France, maybe, or in Germany. Interested to find out. AE6JG.
Copy that, James. KP4MD, tell us what's going on here.
Okay, thank you. This is KP4MD. I thought this would be a good sequel to what Joel sent with his portable setup. This week I've been playing with WSJTX running on my Raspberry Pi, and I've used WSJTX on Windows PC before with the JT Alerts, and JT Alerts does not run on Raspberry Pi, but this is one of the other programs that interfaces with WSJTX to give a graphical presentation of the stations you're hearing that are being decoded, and organizes them as to where they, if these are countries that you need or grid squares that you need. And it's an aid in working FT8, because working off the straight WSJTX program, the decodes just go flying by so fast that it's really hard to pick one of those stations and to respond to it. So I found this Grid Tracker is an awesome program. I guess James has some experience with it as well. I know they do make this for Mac, I believe, and Windows, as well as for Linux. And Yeah, I was at the time sending that red line. It was a signal from my station going over to his station in Switzerland, and I couldn't really. I mean, I could have zoomed out further to get both of the endpoints of that arc, but it would have probably made it really difficult to read any of the lettering there. So I wanted to leave it the way it was, so you could get a clue about what was going on from reading it. And yeah, those are heat. That's a heat map of propagation that you see over the United States. Every, I think, colored, those little rectangles are grid squares. And I'm not exactly sure. I think James might have remembered what the different colors stand for. But if it's a grid square that you've worked, I think it turns like a golden color. And I didn't really have very many contacts on using the grid tracker when I took this screen capture. So that's why you don't see very much there. But I had a lot of fun with this. Back to Nets, KP4 Mike Delta.
Thanks so much, Carol. That's really cool. And it is really crisp on my side. I think that's great. All right, we're down to the dregs. That's me. Last photo for the evening. I'm going to send this PD120. And, yeah, goes along with some of the themes tonight. Alrighty, this is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee, and you're listening to the River City Arc Slow Scan TV Net. I'm going to go straight to KP4MD.
Well, yeah, it is KP4MD. You know, I typed in waffle iron ? And now I can read. It says automatic grill waffle baker, and it's got some batter in there that's cooking, and it's I got about, I don't know, maybe a couple dozen pixel pops, but looks like it's cooking and it's set on high. So I don't know. I see SSTV DE Miss Kitty at the bottom. Interesting. Back to Nets, KP4 Mike Delta.
Thanks, Carol. And Bill.
Yeah, I agree with Carol. At first, I was very confused the first half, and then realized it was some kind of kitchen appliance. and set to high, and it does look like there's some kind of batter inside the machine, so I'm going to go with waffle iron, even though it does look like maybe there's a pancake in there. It looks like an older machine, well-loved, well-used. I have a very favorite hot dog sandwich maker. We have like a sandwich maker thing, and I love it so much that I actually went on eBay to buy all the rest of them out, just in case they never come back. So I'm a big fan of one-use kitchen items. So at least that one. Anyways, interesting to hear what's going on here. N6NA back to net.
Thanks so much, Bill and Carol. I'm going to make it quick because I'm trying to honor our, trying to keep it within an hour here. Yes, this is a much-loved, obviously well-used, definitely never degreased waffle iron, and that's my sourdough waffle batter. And I made this a couple days ago because I was listening to those guys, damn them, on the morning net for Sierra, what is it, W6EK, and the morning talk, and they were talking about donuts and waffles and what they did to them. I'm like, you know, a lot of it was sacrilege to me what they would do at a waffle, because I just like butter and syrup. That's how a waffle should be. Unless you want to put bacon, cooked bacon in the middle of it, that's great too. One of my relatives gave this to me because they know I like waffles and I like them thin and crispy, and after that morning talk, I headed for the kitchen and I made myself some sourdough waffles because, you know, it takes only a couple minutes and you're done. So that's my story, and I'm going to stick to that. Are there any other comments before I close out our most wonderful SlowScan TV Net? And I greatly appreciate everybody's contributions tonight, as usual. They were lovely, and always the stories so interesting. So any additional comments before I close out, and then Neil, you'll be after.
AE6JG.
Go ahead.
I love the image. I thought it was a lenticular cloud maker. Back to you.
Oh my God, that's so good. Perfect, Jays. I love that. It is a lenticular cloud maker, one that you can actually eat, and I'm sure it looks like a flying saucer too. Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, and even though Bob fooled us all, that little apparatus that he has is just a very modernistic version of a pencil sharpener. That's all it is.
That's funny too. Thank you, Neil. Any other comments or questions?
I was very confused at the beginning also. For the life of me, I thought I was looking at a Corvette floating in the middle of the air in a garage somewhere. It wasn't until it was about a half or three-quarters down that I could put together that, oh, that's not a car, that's a handle. Oh, wait a minute, what's that in white stuff inside? So it's definitely sometimes you get quite a process of reveal as you get more and more of the photo. AI6DG, back to net.
Oh, thanks, Jill. Jill, but this is lusciousness. This is the best. It really, truly is. Of course, yeah, I've got a lenticular waffle batter around my waist. Any other comments or questions? With that, I want to thank you all who have participated in tonight's SlowScan TV Net, including Andy and Bruce on our webpage in the chat box. I hope they enjoyed our SlowScan TV tonight. And we hope to see, obviously, all of you and more again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. on this channel, 441.30 at 9 p.m. The net is officially closed at 10:02. And this is Kilo India 1, Tango Tango Yankee, Jen, Jennifer, or Miss Kitty. Thanking all of you and wishing you the best. Good evening and 73.